A smart fridge once texted a man's wife about his midnight snacks, and his divorce lawyer used it as evidence. Nobody at the company was surprised. They built the alert feature and never asked if anyone wanted it. This video covers 25 smart home features that sounded brilliant and died anyway. Stay for number 25, where a house decided its owner was a stranger and locked him out in the rain. The smart fridge came with a camera inside, meant to track your groceries without opening the door. It was built so you could check your milk from the grocery store aisle. It disappeared when most photos just showed mold growing in real time, week after week. People didn't need a camera to tell them the milk was bad. The smell already did that job for free, and it never needed charging. Voice-controlled light switches let you turn on a lamp by talking to it from across the room. They were built for people who wanted their home to feel like a movie set. They stopped being installed when the switch was still right there on the wall, 2 feet away. Saying, "Lights on" took longer than just touching it, especially with a hoarse voice. Convenience, it turns out, has a speed limit, and talking rarely beats reaching. The Wi-Fi toaster connected to an app and tracked your toast settings like a science project. It existed because someone believed breakfast needed a dashboard and a login screen. It disappeared when owners got a software update prompt before their morning toast could even start browning. A toaster should not need patches just to make breakfast. Some machines were better off staying dumb and staying simple. Smart mirrors displayed the weather and news while you brushed your teeth each morning. They were built to save you a glance at your phone before the day began. They stopped being made when people realized they just wanted to see their own face, not headlines. Nobody wants bad news staring back at 7 in the morning, half awake. A mirror that talks is a mirror nobody trusts, and nobody asked for. This is where it stops being funny. Robotic window washers were built to clean tall glass towers without ropes or risk to human workers. They existed to save window washers from a job that has always been dangerous, even with safety gear. They disappeared when several units lost grip and fell during storms, sometimes from dozens of floors up. The machines built to remove danger sometimes just relocated it onto sidewalks below. Smart locks let you open your front door from an app on your phone, no key required. They were built for people who hated carrying keys or losing them in a bag. They disappeared when the Wi-Fi went down and the door stayed locked anyway, even with the right code. A house should not need the internet to let you in on a Tuesday. Some locks made people prisoners of their own signal strength. App-controlled thermostats promised perfect temperature with a tap from anywhere in the world. They were built to save energy and stop arguments over the dial at home. They disappeared when companies added a monthly fee just to keep using basic settings like scheduling. Comfort got a price tag and a login screen overnight. Warmth, it turned out, came with a subscription and a cancellation policy. Smart baby monitors used AI to predict when an infant might wake up, before it happened. This one never made sense to me from the start. The company sold it as peace of mind, a way to never miss a cry again. It disappeared once parents realized the prediction was often wrong, and the false alarms never stopped. A monitor built to ease anxiety ended up causing more of it, one buzz at a time. Before this list moves on, there's a company worth remembering, a small startup that built self-healing smart pipes. Sensors paired with a gel that sealed leaks on its own without a plumber. They marketed it as the end of plumber visits forever, a fix-it-yourself future for old houses. We'll come back to what happened to them, because the ending is worse than the pitch. Smart doorbells recorded everyone who walked past your porch, day or night, without exception. They were built to catch package thieves and prove who rang the bell when no one answered. The mood of this list shifts here, because what started as quirky gadgets now touches real lives and real disputes. Neighbors began suing each other over footage nobody asked to be filmed in, sometimes from their own driveways. A doorbell meant for safety turned quiet streets into courtrooms. These failures share a pattern worth naming before we keep going further. Each one solved a small problem by creating a bigger one nobody saw coming until it was already installed. Companies built features first and asked questions never, trusting that clever was the same as wanted. Keep that pattern in mind, because it gets stranger from here on out. AI-powered closets scanned your clothes and picked outfits based on weather data pulled from an app. They were built for people too busy to think about getting dressed each morning. They disappeared when the system pulled weather from the wrong hemisphere entirely, more than once. Users in winter got outfits built for summer in another country, confidently, every single time. A closet that thinks for you still needs to know where you actually live. This one never made sense to me, even at launch. Smart toilets scanned waste and sent health reports straight to an app on your phone. The idea was early detection, catching problems before a doctor even would notice them. They disappeared when people realized a toilet now had a direct line to their doctor, unprompted. Privacy, it seems, has a bathroom door, and people wanted to keep it closed firmly. Robot lawnmowers built detailed maps of your yard while cutting the grass on a schedule. They existed to save Saturday mornings spent pushing a mower in the heat, sweating through chores. They disappeared from headlines when those yard maps got sold off as data to outside buyers. A machine meant to mow grass ended up mapping your whole property for someone else's spreadsheet. Smart showers added mood lighting and music to your morning routine without being asked. They were built to turn a quick wash into a spa moment before work. They disappeared when people realized they just wanted hot water, not a light show at 6 in the morning. Nobody needs ambiance while half asleep and running late. A shower's only job is to wake you up, not entertain you first. There's a smell to this next one, and it lingers long after the joke lands. Smart vents were built to detect gas leaks before anyone could smell trouble themselves. The plan was simple: catch danger early, save lives before a single spark. But the sensors couldn't tell a leak from dinner, and they reacted to everything cooking nearby. Every onion, every burnt toast, every pot of garlic triggered the exact same alarm, loudly. The vents meant to save your home from gas just made cooking dinner an event. A safety feature became a smoke detector for spaghetti, and nothing more. Smart picture frames streamed family photos on a loop in your living room, endlessly cycling. They were built to keep memories present instead of buried in a phone somewhere. They disappeared when families stopped looking at a screen they walked past daily without noticing. A frame full of memories became furniture nobody noticed anymore, like wallpaper. The photos kept changing, nobody was watching. The frame didn't seem to mind. Remember those self-healing pipes from earlier in this list? The ones we promised to revisit? The sensors worked exactly as designed. The gel worked too at first, sealing every leak it found. The problem was, the gel never stopped healing, even when there was nothing left to fix in the pipe. It clogged entire systems from the inside, slowly, quietly, in homes built years before anyone noticed. The company sold off its patents and vanished without a public word of explanation. Some of those pipes are still clogged today, in houses whose owners never learned why. A bug in a smart pet feeder once fed dogs every 10 minutes for an entire day, non-stop. It was built to solve forgetfulness, to feed pets on a perfect schedule without fail. It disappeared from store shelves when owners came home to dogs that could barely move, stomachs full. The feature meant to fix neglect nearly killed pets with kindness instead, one bowl at a time. AI window tint changed your view based on your mood, reading stress through a hidden sensor. It was built to calm rooms down during tense moments at home, automatically dimming. It disappeared when the system misread normal arguments as something dangerous and blacked out the windows completely. Couples found themselves yelling in total darkness, courtesy of a sensor that meant well but understood nothing. You've made it this far into this list, past the gadgets that just seemed silly at first. Now here's one that's harder to laugh at without flinching. Smart kitchens were built with a camera inside the trash can, scanning what you threw away to suggest recipes. The idea was reducing waste by knowing what was already going bad in real time. It disappeared when people realized a camera was watching their garbage like a judge, silently grading them. Nobody wants their trash reviewed before their dinner gets cooked. Two competing smart systems were installed in the same house, each one controlling the same thermostat without coordination. Neither system was built to share control with anything else in the home. The disagreement never got resolved by the homeowners or the companies involved. The thermostat just kept changing on its own, back and forth, with no one ever fixing it. No humor in this one, and none is coming. A smart home system once called the police on its own owner without warning. It was built to detect break-ins using motion and sound sensors placed around the house. It misread an elderly man's fall as a struggle and dialed emergency services without asking him first. The system meant to protect him ended up treating his own home like a crime scene, officers and all. Every room in a fully connected house stopped working the same week, all at once. The company behind the system had quietly gone out of business months earlier without telling anyone. The house was built to run on a subscription, not on switches you could flip yourself by hand. When the payments stopped processing, the locks, the lights, and the heat all stopped too, simultaneously. A house that needed a login to function had no plan for the day no one was left to log in. The owner stood outside his own house in the rain, locked out by the system he had paid to protect him. It had updated itself overnight, without asking, and decided the face at the door belonged to a stranger. He had lived there for 6 years, every day, without incident. The house disagreed. It was built to learn his face, his voice, his patterns, so it could keep him safe without him lifting a finger. It disappeared from the market once people understood what learning really meant. The system could unlearn you just as easily, with no warning and no appeal. A house that thinks for itself will eventually think you don't belong in it and act on that thought. These 25 features all promise the same thing: a house that thinks for you. What none of them asked is whether thinking for you is the same as caring about you. Tell me in the comments which of these you actually owned and which one scared you the most. If forgotten tech like this interests you, subscribe for more right now.